Hello everyone, my name is Vallacy, and in today's video, I'm going to do my part in explaining what an 11 Bravo Infantryman is. I was an infantryman between the years of 2015 and 2018, so I'm going to use my first-hand experience to give you better insight. Just real quick before we begin, training and how to prepare to become an 11 Bravo Infantryman will be covered in a separate video. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on those videos. Or if a notification just popped up in the top right of the screen, that means I've already made a video about those things and you can find them there. And without further ado, let's just jump into it. So we're gonna go see what GoArmy.com has to say about the infantry, and I'm gonna do my part in explaining what that stuff actually means. So keep in mind that whenever you hear or read something cool that the infantry does, most of the time, I say 95% of the time, you won't be doing those cool things. Now that is not necessarily a bad thing, but if you are looking to join the infantry, you'll want a clear and realistic picture before you do so. So let's start with the overview. So it starts off by saying that the infantry is the main land combat force and the backbone of the army. And that is true if America is involved in a conflict anywhere around the world. Most likely, the infantry is going to be there. They are responsible for defending our country against any threat by land, as well as capturing, destroying, and repelling enemy ground forces. Now that sounds heroic and cool as hell. Now that sentence can mean a lot, like digging foxholes, pulling 50-50 fire guard in a combat zone, carrying your equipment miles before you even reach your objective. As an infantryman, you will do a lot, and there's no way I can cover all of that in one video in a timely manner. Remember when I said 95% of the time you won't be doing all that cool stuff? Well, much of the time you'll be training to do all that cool stuff. But anyway, I don't want to get too bogged down in that. Let's move on to the job descriptions, where I think I can give you more insight on what infantry does in a day-to-day basis. Perform as a member of a fire team during drills and combat. If you don't get anything from this video, get this: teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. You will rarely do anything alone as an infantryman. The smallest form of a team that you will be a part of is called the fire team, and it ranges between 2 and 4 people, and in my experiences, it was always 4 people. Now you can be assigned many different roles as a team member in this fire team. In my experiences, the most common was obviously the team leader, the rifleman, the grenadier, and the light machine gunner. There are other roles like designated marksman rifle, but that role in particular is actually pretty rare in my experience. But no matter what role you get, take it seriously because it affects your team, your squad, everyone. Next, we have aid in the mobilization of vehicles, troops, and weaponry. Yes, as an infantryman, you can be tasked with operating a vehicle. Keep in mind that there are mobilized infantry brigades. You can imagine yourself driving a big old truck that's carrying a lot of troops in the back with their weapons and all their equipment with them. And you may find yourself sitting in the passenger seat, assisting the driver in navigating wherever you are. Moving on, we have assist in reconnaissance missions. Your mission may not always be to fight and to kill an enemy. It might just be to look at them. Other examples of reconnaissance is finding a landing site for helicopters. Could just be scouting ahead like 50 feet in front of your unit to see if it's safe. In these cases, you will likely use your land navigation skills, which is a part of training. And who knows, if you're good enough at land navigation, you may be tasked with land navigating for your entire squad. Next, we have something real interesting: processing prisoners of war and capturing documents. This is something I've never done, but you are trained to process multiple prisoners of war, how to search them, how to separate them, and what to do if you've captured important documents. Now, something you'll do a lot as an infantryman is use, maintain, and store combat weapons. And you might think that sounds fun, and you're right. You get to shoot M4s, machine guns, grenade launchers, maybe even the machine gun grenade launcher. But don't glance over this important word: maintain. As an infantryman, you will be spending a lot of time cleaning your weapons, and maybe weapons that belong to someone else that you didn't even use. But you should. There's a saying in the Army, and I'm sure it's even outside of the Army, that if you take care of your weapon, it'll take care of you. And storing weapons is usually the armorer's job, which is also usually an infantryman, at least in my experience. And an armorer is usually a corporal and above. And that's all we're going to explore on GoArmy.com. The rest talks about training and stuff like that, and that's going to be covered in a separate video like I mentioned before. GoArmy.com does a pretty good job, but it does leave some gaps, which I think they have a pretty good reason for. And that is, every unit and every leadership you're under is going to be different in some way. As an infantryman, you're going to be doing a lot of PT in the morning and maybe even in the afternoon. Just depends on your leadership, like I said. And what PT you're doing varies for the same reasons. In my experience, we ran a lot. So if you're thinking about joining the infantry, get good at cardio. And there are little things here and there that the infantry does, like take classes, they handle dentist appointments, make sure you're physically fit, you don't have any injuries, and if you do, you take care of them. Oftentimes you'll work with other MOSs like supply, mortarmen, medics, and that's just to name a few. But anyway, I want to keep this video short, so that is where I'm going to end it here. If you have any questions, please post them down in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them as accurately and as timely as I can. And if you would like more information, I'm going to do my best to post helpful links, helpful channels, helpful videos down in the description, so check that out and see what resources are there. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like and consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never skip a beat here. I enjoyed making this video for you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya!